play some more Naya Enigmatic here. Okay. We can place our headquarters into a sun petal, draw off a spirit companion, and we have 2 removal spells. It's not terrible. So this deck plays a lot of times like a just like a control deck, and so I think just moving, especially the Yorion version, when you compare it to the Kruger version, Kruger's like all in on the combo. That's what they're focused on doing. This version, Yorion specifically, plays a lot more like a control deck. You have a lot of redundancy in effect, removal, card draw, things like that. So we're just kind of playing to uh, various things, just kind of slowly progressing the board here. They may have an impulse for the Spirit Companion, but that's fine. Drawing the Comb is not great. I would have loved to have kept that in the deck, but maybe we can just pitch it with a Bitter Union here soon if we find one. Oh, we're playing against Rakdos. Okay, I'm no longer worried. So what I could do is I could just play tapped Sacred Foundry here. And let's go ahead and Leyline Binding this guy. Let's attack for 1. And then I'm going to hold this Fateful Absence for like a likely Shoulder. They're probably just going to go into Fable next turn. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not really worried too much about a Fable. Especially we got this Tolsmere coming, which will be nice for us. Would like to find some action to play here. Like an Enigmatic would be a really great draw right now. We haven't seen Thoughtseize, which is interesting. We just got turn 1 nothing into Blood Tithe Harvester. Croxa, okay, sure. We're gonna discard the Coma. And then are they gonna just do the Blood Token here next turn? Okay, we're gonna play Tap Stomping Ground, and I'm gonna get a Yorion in hand. And then I'm gonna attack with the dog. So, I mean, here you can see the just ever so slight advantage of like the Spirit Companion versus just like any other 2-mana cantrip enchantment is that it just sits here and deals damage. They just cycled an Abrade. Yeah, Shoulder like I thought. So I could have held up the Fateful Absence here, and like sure, but we'll take 2. I will. Let's just Fateful Absence this now. And then I'm gonna go in for 1. I'm gonna play the dog first before I play my Hallowed Fountain in case I draw into a tapped land that I would rather play than the Hallowed Fountain. Enigmatic is a great draw. We just have to hope we just miss the Thoughtseize, although we have a real spicy hand if we get Thoughtseized. We haven't seen one yet, so it's due, right? So they could just draw a card here. They have another Shieldred. Perfect. That's actually totally fine. Because I'm just going to drop Enigmatic. Wow. Am I? So the other option is I could just play Yorion, bounce the Binding, give them back Blood Tithe Harvester, exile the Shieldred and draw 2, and then I can play Elishnor next turn, and then go find like Titan or something. I think I'm gonna do that. I think there's highest upside there. So I'm gonna put the Spirit Companion triggers first so I don't take 4 life. Exile a Shieldred, draw 2. and then we can easily trade here if we wanted to, if they don't have a removal spell, where we can just trade both dogs for the Blood Tithe Harvester. Alternatively, we don't even have to sack the Leyline Binding, we just sack the Spirit Companion. They've already drawn me 4 cards between the 2 of them. So they've very much done their job. Yeah, they're cracking the clue, and they might even cycle this blood token, so that means we're very far ahead. They have a Fable? Yeah. Oh yeah. Very happy to see that. That's a great draw. We're just going to go Enigmatic into Chain here. Sure, I don't know why they're doing that in response to the Chain, though. Let's just attack with the Yorian, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sack a Spirit of Companion, get Skyclave, and exile this since it seems they're not drawing well. That way I can stay ahead on board. Okay, cool. Yep, they've seen enough. On to the next one. There's really not much of change here against Rakdos. I normally just bring in just Supreme Verdict, but one of my friends has told me I should try the Larcenist as well. I usually just take out Red Dane, and then I also am just going to take out one of the dogs, because they have a lot of fatal pushes and the like, so it doesn't really behoove me to have it, even though they ended up being really good there. Like, they didn't see any fatal pushes, they didn't see any Thoughtseizes. That's kind of an atypical game for them. Rakdos is, of course, just a super easy matchup, but it's not something I'm really worried about. But we'll play it regardless. It'll be fun. 3 lands, we got a turn 1 chain to answer whatever. We probably might still just get Thoughtseize, but we have this Wandering Mind to find me an Enigmatic or a Leyline Binding, so I'm pretty happy with that. And we have removal for Shieldred. We've got a good amount of removal, and that's a pretty good draw. Play this tapped. Okay. We don't have anything we need to develop. If they go turn 3 Fable, I don't really want to spend the Fateful Absence on it, so I'm just going to play tap land and go. Crocs is fine. We'll discard this. Atraxa, it's just not something I'm going to get to anytime soon, and so it's just going to save me 3 life. That's smart. I guess I could have saved the Fateful Absence for this, but this is smart. So my opponent at least knows what they're doing. No Fable's good, so they still haven't drawn, so maybe even I just play the Deputy and I just exile this right now. And then, because they can't have just push, they have to like go for throat or something. And if they're spending go for throat on the Deputy just to get back a Bank Buster, I think that's I'm more than okay with that. Next turn I have Chain plus Wandering Mind if I want it. And they're probably going to try to play Shieldred on me. Okay, well, this is good because then I can just chain the Goblin token. Okay. Second chains is okay. Let's go in for combat first. And then we'll go with the Wandering Mine. And then hopefully find Enigmatic here. Yep, boom. And so now this is a little telegraphed, sure. And this is telling them, hey, if you have a Thoughtseize, you need to do it now, or try to find a Thoughtseize with either this... Yeah, you need to try to find a Thoughtseize with this Fable, but that's okay, because we have Heliod, so it's just one turn slower. They discard just the Fable, so that's kind of interesting. That means their hand is okay. I don't know, don't think I'm worried. There you go, found the Thoughtseize. But then they'll see this hand, and they'll be like, sad. We'll just go Heliod Enigmatic and force them to have a second Thoughtseize. Okay, well. Heliod no matters. Okay. I just spent 2 cards just to get rid of my card advantage here. So I am, again, just fine with that. I mean, some people would look at this and say, well, isn't Wandering Mine really bad? And I still think the answer to that is no, because Wandering Mine still got me a card. I would have had no cards in my hand after that Go Blank if this was a Moonblessed Cleric. Yes, I would have drawn into an Enigmatic, but then I still only have this Chain to the Rocks on the field, and so I don't really have much to go for. I just sack this, go get a dog, and then I start accruing value. And yes, that's good. But, I mean, at this point now, I'm just going to cast this Yorion next turn, and I'll draw another card. Discard a card, and kill the Wandering Mine. We'll discard the Fateful Absence, because I want this Yorion. So my opponent is just hoping to win off. So this is really interesting now, because I could put a 4/5 in play, and then chain this Fable. Or... because, yeah, I think I'm just gonna take this. Enigmatic. Let's get another card in hand. So if they go to Kolaghan's Command again for some reason, which I doubt they will, they usually only run 1. So it doesn't matter if they have another Go Blank. If they have Thoughtseize, they're almost definitely taking the Orion. Unless I draw something crazy. But we're not super far ahead. I think we're kind of medium, but with this Enigmatic count, they can't really answer it. And so if we just find any enchantment, yeah, I figured they would kill this. But we have Yorion in hand still. Any enchantment is good here. That's also good here. We've got 3 whites. We're just going to trade their card advantage because they're hoping to draw cards with this Bankbuster. And they are now at Kroxa, I think. Why won't you let me look at this Kroxa? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we're going to hold on to the Sacred Foundry because of that. That way I don't have to lose this Yorion. The children. Or no, they're gonna do the Kroxa. What am I talking about? We were just talking about this. Definitely doing escaping the Kroxa. We're gonna take 3. And no big deal, but they can't copy the Kroxa because of it's a legendary. I have Bone Crusher next turn, so they can copy that. That's fine. We're just gonna kill the original and take 3. Again, any enchantment is good. Yeah, like that one. And then we can Skyclave this Kroxa. So I don't want to attack with a cav because I could get back the Spirit Companion. That's it. So it's not like high impact enough. Just go get Skyclave. Get rid of this Croxa. I'm not going to hit the Fable just because they're so far behind. They can copy a Bonecrusher Giant, but it doesn't matter because I have this cav here. So we're just going to do that. Thoughtseize away the Yorion, sure. Figure is coming eventually. Fable's a good draw for them. That means I get to just pitch whatever they draw for turn. But they're still not developing out this Bone Crusher, so I'm really confused. They're just going to make one more mana. Yeah, I'm just going to eat it, which is, I don't know. I guess they're just trying to develop mana. I'm going to attack with a cab next turn. And wow, another good draw. Drawing really well. These Beanstalks are great. No cards in hand. I may just want to go get a Wandering Mind here. Or I could get a Glass Pool, copy the Cav. No. I'm going to hold this land in hand to make them try to sack. I'm just going to get a Wandering Mind because this is going to put me ahead. It's going to draw me an extra card, and if they have another discard type effect, I can just discard the land if it's optional. Alternatively, we can get a Frill back here, and we can destroy this and gain 4 life. Let's do that. If we had played the Stomping Ground, I guess we could have done all 3, but I don't think that matters. So this is the upside of Throwbacks. I got to gain life and destroy, and then next turn when they go in with Bonecrusher Giant, I have a 3/3 to block as opposed to having a 2/1. Them drawing Locthwain is good, lets them draw another card, but then they're only down to 3 mana. They could still cast the Bonecrusher, but they can't haste it. Yeah, I figured they might do this to try to... It's probably a Shieldred or something. If they do have Shieldred, we're just going to attack into it, get back our Beanstalk if I don't find anything else. Definitely have Shieldred, yeah. That's fine. It's a good draw. Alright, let's just attack into this Shieldred. We could also just get back to the Chain of the Rocks. And then I go Elish Norn and Tolsmir's in the grave? They're not going to block. Okay, cool. One blue, green, and 1. I'm going to play this tapped. I don't think, now that I have enough mana, it just doesn't matter. First one, we're going to get Elish Norn, then Tolsmir. Alright. Yes. First trigger targets Shieldred, second one Fable. Alright, boom. Rakdos. Easy peasy. Super easy. Who knew it's the top deck of the format? Weird. Alright, let's play some Naya Enigmatic. It's twice in a row we've had our opponents disconnect on us just because, I don't know, I don't want to play against Enigmatic. The last one made a misplay, or maybe just learned something about their deck that they didn't know before. So this is really bad because we have two 7-drops in hand, but we have a turn 3 Fable, and we have a turn 2 Binding without losing any mana, so we can discard these 7-drops to the Fable to get 2 new cards, and I can maybe get them back later with the Kenrith, so I can see it. I'm going to try it out. So it's a Lead and Rafine Tower, and then we'll play a tap Stomping Ground, and then we have Binding up. So is this blue-white? I don't know. If there's 60 card, no companion. Oh wow, no, that's a great draw. So the Valakut Awakening here is such a good draw here, because now I get to put back both of my 7-drops and still draw. I'm going to do that instead of the Fable on turn 3. So that's an amazing draw. We just got to be careful of if they are playing control. Mana Confluence, huh. I don't know what that means for me. Maybe somebody's trying out an Enigmatic, but... Okay, this is Bring to Light. Faithful Absence is an amazing draw if this actually is Bring to Light. And what I may... So the alternative here is I could hold up a Binding in case something crazy goes on, but honestly I might just want to do this now. They do run, some of them run Thoughtseize, so I think let's just wait. I don't think they run Counter Magic. Assuming this is BTL. But not really. Just... or Rona, I guess. Sure. Okay. I have no clue what we're playing against. There's no way this is BTL or Niv. We're gonna put back... I am gonna put back the Fable also, so we can draw 4 cards here. There. Well, this Enigmatic is great if we had a Binding out. But we can chain and hold up 2 bindings, to be honest. Or just 1 binding. We have to hold up just 1 binding. We'll put it here. We just have infinite removal. And I mean, even if they don't do anything, I'm probably just gonna play a binding. That way I can do an Enigmatic next turn. Yeah, it's such a weird deck. Maybe they're playing Beseeches? I don't know. Was it a lot of black mana? They can't have binding here because they have... I guess they could. They could have binding because they have 3 mana binding. Alright. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. Oh. What on earth are we playing against? That's fine. Next turn, let's Bitter Reunion something. This is BTL now. Okay. And this is clearly some weird off-meta deck. Oh, Jesus. I want to discard this Skyclave. I don't need it right now. I'm going to hold up both white so I can double binding if I need to. Hopefully we find another land. Okay. Let's do... I've been lacking on white, so we're gonna keep the white. White and play first. Since I've just been drawing mostly removal. We're gonna wait till this Ocean Tide attacks, because it's only a combat damage trigger. Once it's tapped, though, I get to binding it. So, I'm just gonna stop guessing. 6 mana. Nissa for 4. So, Scry 2 goes to 6. Is this... If it's a land or creature card manipulates from their loyalty counters on Nissa, put it in the battlefield. Sure. We'll probably just get that too. I mean, actually, we could just Fateful Absence that and hold on to the... Well, no, not necessarily, because if we... Binding that now... If we sack this... Excuse me, if we sack this binding, we get to... I mean, once we sack this, they get a 0 mana Planeswalker, which will die to state-based actions. Okay. I think we're gonna get Yorion and hold up Fateful Absence here. Because in the next turn I can bounce these bindings, but mainly I can draw 2 off this Bitter Union. I just still have no idea what my opponent is up to, and they're obviously playing a 5-color pile also, but it doesn't seem like a good 5-color pile. Based on all the cards that I'm seeing, though, I'm guessing it's gotta be Niv-Mizzet. But they might just be playing just raw dogging Niv-Mizzet as opposed to playing Bring to Light. We're gonna discard the Chain of the Rocks because the only thing we've seen so far is those Caryatid. Okay, 2 more lands is kind of bad. We need to find another Enigmatic. We can just deploy this Tolsmere next turn, and then we have blockers for whatever's gonna happen. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. So it's just Hardcast Falky. Oh my gosh, my opponent, they're just living the dream. They're playing the hero decks for sure. I'm gonna feel bad telling my opponent. Oh my gosh. We could just cast that, but I think it's better to just kill this. Don't play Tolsmere. I don't have any more removal, so I don't need to hold up anything anymore. So we're just gonna play Tolsmere. And then I can play land Atraxa, haste Atraxa, and just win next turn. So I had mentioned in my deck kind of primer that sometimes Enigmatic just has to play like a 4-color control deck, and you can see that here. I mean, obviously I'm playing against another like quote-unquote grindy 4-color pile, 5-color pile actually. I mean, look at that much black they have. But Sometimes you just play threats and you control the board with all your removal, and then you just see what happens. It looks like they might be casting their own Atraxa, to be honest, if that's what this is. Or just another Crisis. I mean, I'm not going to keep guessing because I have no idea what they're playing, but actually... Okay. Interesting. Alright, sweet. Play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna just play the Atraxa, and I'm gonna hold on to the mana here, because I could potentially cycle a Triome. I don't gain anything by doing this here. So if we get, oh yeah, Otawara, Beanstalk, I guess that's all we get. That's kind of a bummer. That's fine. So we can play this out now. And probably actually should have kept it behind. But we can threaten a block against this Dragonlord Jamocha, and if they go to remove it, we can Otawara it back to hand. We can also just block and Otawara it, period. And then recast the next turn with fires. We just don't get to, and then we can find something else to do. We just won't get to attack with it, but we'd still potentially gain 7 life. I mean, they have a lot of cards in hand. We block the Ojtai. Even if they do have a removal of some kind, again, we'll just Otawara our Atraxa. Look at that, back to a clean 20. Cool part is I don't even have to use a mana confluence to return the Atraxa to my hand. Yeah, this has to be Niv. Everything is 2-color that I'm seeing. It's just like a really weird version of Niv. I don't think they're playing any BTL. There's the Bring to Light, finally. I guess Elishnorn here. Oh my god, they're not playing Elishnorn? Alright, well, all that. They are playing Niv. Dreadbore, Huatli, and that's it. Another just 2 permanent Atraxa is really rough, I would say. We're gonna get Kenrith here. And then I'm gonna return the Yorion in response to Dreadbore. Actually, I might just do it in my end step. No, I think I am going to do it in response. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I can only do once. And I would take 10. Potentially. I think I'm gonna do it now. We'll trade for this Loxodon, and then I'll take 6. And then I'll cycle an end stop. I could just Dreadbore the Yorion here, yeah. And then I take 10, which is like totally fine because I'm going to attack them for 7 on the following turn. This is really nice because they can't respond to really anything. A lot of their stuff is sorcery speed, and the instant speed stuff is like, well, I guess Distinguished Awakening is one of them, but 3 mana is pretty good for me because I'm going to return this stuff at end of turn, and I can just infinitely do this basically. Yeah, I think they realize that. So bring the light. Disputes. Oop. I like to add these over here. So disputes, vetoes, larcenist, verdict. All this package is just address their BTLs whenever spells the verdict is for Alishnorn, and if they get wider than I am, censor stops them from casting whatever it is they get off of the BTL. We don't need Blood Mage. We don't need Skyclave. Probably want to trim 2 fires because we're trying to counter things. And we want 1 less Chain of the Rocks because they have the Niv. Maybe even 2. We can get rid of the. Probably gets rid of bindings. Maybe Deputy. 2. Let's do 2 chains, cause yeah. I mean, they didn't show me Elisnor, and if they had it, they probably should have gotten it there 1000% instead of Niv. But this is a no. But that's just me. We can cast a turn 2 doggy. We put this. Oh, I should have cut the tolls here instead of a chain. We're gonna keep this, and I think I put back. We put back to the Cavalier. I'm least likely to hard cast that since I only have 1 white in hand. So we're gonna have to try to find it off of a Enigmatic. Okay. That's good. That means not casting a Caryatid. I think we're still gonna go with the dog here. And we might discard the Talisman to the Bitter Union next turn. Alright, well, 3 Stopping Grounds, not great. We're probably gonna discard one of those. And I'm probably gonna lead on the Bitter Union before we do anything else. And that also depends on what I draw. So if I draw like a Fable, for example. It's black. Are they playing like Beseech the Mirror and Bring the Light? Like, why are they going for black so hard? Oh, sure. I guess that's why. I could have just got the black off this, I don't know. Oh, they name... Alright, it's very clear to me this opponent doesn't play Magic that much. Or even play Pioneer, or even this deck specifically, because the correct choice here was Enigmatic, by and far. I've only got the one Atraxa, and I've got so many other threats I can develop too. So, that's really weird. Not a great draw, that's fine. That can help us later on. Wow. Let's play Stomping Ground tapped, because we can. Hidden for one. Yeah, Binding would have been a better name too. Like, there's so many better things to name than the one on the tracks. They don't know my deck either. I guess you could look at us and go like, oh, it's like a turbo Traxa deck or something, like the Neoform decks, which I guess maybe it makes sense then, but otherwise it's just a really bad name. Because it's not how I win exclusively, it's a way that I win. And right now we have 4 mana bindings, which is kind of awkward that we're drawing all of our check lands. I'm gonna exile this dog. It'd be weird. You probably should loot. Guess they are. Yeah, they usually only play one here, so let's just go ahead and get this. They could have their own binding, but that's fine. I want to say the Faithful Absence for an Elish Norn or a Niv, something that's like a real threat. This Nahiri is just like not a super big threat. Is this Slaughter Games right now? Or is this Bring to Light? This could be Bring to Light. Any blue. Yeah, this is Bring to Light. Or not. Bring to Light, Dreadbore, that's it. So there's a Bring to Light on the bottom of their library. I probably shouldn't have played that, in case I drew like a tapped land that I would rather play. It was a good draw. This will be a free block. And maybe we find an Enigmatic or a Wandering or a Leyline Binding off this. Okay. So if I get this Valakut Awakening, I play the Fires. Let's go to 4/5. I can cast the Awakening, put back Tolsmere and Coma, and draw new cards. Then I can't do anything else for the turn. If I get this, honestly, yeah, I think I'm selling myself on it. It's also got the, I could play it as a land if I needed to. I don't think I need to. They might just Dreadbore this Wandering Mine. If they do, I don't think that's worth it unless they're really trying to just start a clock going. If they do that, then I'm just gonna go Fires, Fateful, the Niv-Mizzet. They are gonna Dreadbore it. Oh, that was Drifting Clarion. Yeah, that's smart. It's actually a pretty smart play. That's a pretty heads-up play for the opponent. So they still have Bring to Light and Dreadbore. Let's not. So I still have Dreadbore, Bring to Light. I'm probably just gonna draw here. Yeah. That's the one downside of the Fateful Absence, so when Get Lost comes out next week, that's just going to be an immediate swap. It's just much better, because it doesn't give the card draw, they have to have the creature, and if you're killing a creature, then it may not matter, right? So, but it's also bad for Enigmatic. They're going to cast Spring Delay here, most likely. I'm going to stop guessing. Okay. Play this. Cast Toll's Mirror. I'm just going to develop to the board. What I'm going to do here. I mean, they have Extinction Event, and so they could wipe a good amount of things, but we'll just go like this. Cast. So if I unlock the Nahiri, they just blow up the binding, so it doesn't behoove me to bounce that binding. Then I'm going to cast this Valakut Awakening. And I'm going to put back all cards. Well, those were bad hits. That's... Jesus. I don't know if you've got good discards for the Bitter Reunions coming. We have an active fires. Let's discard these things. Let's discard the Catria Triumph, even though it is a cycler. So now we have got 5 nice, shiny new cards. They might kill the Voja, so then if they have Extinction Event or something, they can get both of these. When did I see... Oh, they reveal the first card. And they're dealing 3 to face. Grease is a good draw for them. So they have options. Yeah, that's one of them. But they're not doing anything else, so very fine with this. And that was just a regular wipe, so that means I can get back these cards later with the Kenrith. Redain is decent. Let's start by drawing a card. And I'm probably going to play Fable if I don't draw anything good. Sure. There we go. That's a great draw. We're going to play this tapped. They have a Dreadbore. So I'm not even going to sack the fires. I'm going to sack a reunion, and then we're going to go get something. Probably a Larcenist, actually. Let's get something out of their hand. Probably this Bring to Light. But then we get to see what's in their hand. So actually, I know all the cards in their hand. That's fun. We're gonna get rid of the Burden Delight. It's the only thing that's I mean, it represents any card in their deck. So getting rid of that's a big deal. Dreadbore's fine. They get to draw another card off because I found a land. So that's good. This Keranos is cool. I've thought about playing Keranos multiple times in the deck. I think it's just too slow at this point. It was viable like before Leyline Binding and all that was released. So otherwise, it's a pretty cool card. For exactly this reason, it draws you. If you were going to be drawing a land for turn, you actually just draw 2 cards instead. So you did get a lot of advantage there, and then you can just get this off of any of your 4s, your fires, your enigmatic. They're just going to cast Krasis for big, and then we're just going to Chain of the Rocks it, and then a fire move the Chain of the Rocks. It just becomes a 0/0. They drew, good amount of cards off of this, just 2, plus the extra one from Keranos, so they are up. But I can copy this Nimble Larcenist and just re-peek at what they have. Okay, so land was one of them. Yeah, let's cycle this. And I'm going to play the Fable now. We're going to attack for 2. I don't really have a good way to answer the Keranos right now. I'm just going to get Glass Pool, copy the Larcenist. Ooh. Yeah, they just drew 4 lands in a row. They're gonna have to just start cycling. Yeah. Alright, so I try them gone. We are just very far ahead. Now they're probably just gonna cycle again. We're outgrin that time. Are you gonna cycle the Ketria now? That would be really rough. So that's a card we didn't even know about too. So that's one of the ones they drew for turn, or they drew off the Keranos or the cycles. Okay, and then they can blow with the Enigmatic. That's a good draw. We'll kill it with one of these creatures. But they're just so far behind now. We're gonna get rid of Redain. They just have enough mana, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's a good reason. So now I can play the Enigmatic, get Kenny since I have a treasure. And then now there's just no way we lose. They have stuff like Culligan's command sometimes, so I'm not going to bounce a Chain of the Rocks, even though it just kill the thing. So, Cast of Fires. Cast Enigmatic. End step. Sack Fires. Kick Kenrith. Reanimate. Yorion. This will be a black. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. They drew a Niv. That's a really good draw for them. Yeah. I guess that could have been a reason to bounce the chain if they had played anything. Maybe next time. I think we're still so far ahead. Because, let's see, we have Unmordigo, Oxidon Smiter, Dovin, Gaze of Granite. This is sorcery. They don't have anything really to interact with me. They could Unmordigo. I got a lot of stuff in exile right now already. This Dovin is really bad. I don't know why they're playing this in their deck. Let's put a counter. Yeah, we should just blink the Larcenist here, because it's not attacking. Okay. Alright. There we go. Alright, trying out some new spicy additions to Enigmatic, see if they make a difference at all. Trying out a Myria's Call, Supreme Verdict in the main, and then swapping out that Supreme Verdict in the main for a Test of Talents. I'm also going down 1 fire since I find I like sided out in a lot of my matchups, so you know, I'm starting to question whether I actually want to play it. This is a decent hand. We'll bottom the Kenrith. We're on the draw, so if I find an untapped land, it's decent. There we go. It's a good one, too. Means I'll have domain 2 on the next turn. Looks like we're playing against blue-white. The guy who said who plays Let's Play Fast was playing blue-white. Not really sure what that means for us. Well, we can kill this Neombi if they want to trade, but I doubt they do. Okay, so this is just clearly some blue-white combo deck with Neombi here. I'm going to play out the Fable. Let's play this out, because I think I want to try to Skyclave that. So I want to play Enigmatic next turn. Let's see if they want to trade their Niambi. I kind of don't want them to, but we'll see if they do. Yeah, so they do value this Niambi. Them having Fielder Rune actually does suck. Creatures are non-basic. Enter tapped. Okay, sure. So that means we can't block with this Goblin Shaman. We have to hope it lives, so we can make a treasure token, then we'll play the tap land. We'll discard. Actually, we'll discard Jetmir. Sacred Foundry. Well, now we don't. I'm still gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna attack with this. Let's see if they want to trade off a 1/1 for it. Oh. Oh, right, this is first strike. That's totally fine, to be honest. They have 2 mana here. That could mean they have a counterspell. I actually have no idea what to expect out of this deck. Okay. Let's go to Skyclave and get rid of the Oketch's Monument. We can deal with Thalia next turn by playing the Glass Pool out, if we want to. And play the Beanstalk in the Glass Pool. We're taking 6. Oh, is Convoke something? Is this like a blue-white Convoke? Discard a legendary card, draw 2 cards. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool synergy. I tapped on the Field of Ruins, which is nice. I'm just going to attack with this Skyclave. I don't think they block, so this is just like 3 damage for me. Let's play this. Cast the Glass Pool. We need to leave up green. So we go like this. Skyclave. Hit the Thalia. And then we'll Beanstalk. And then I'm probably just going to get Heliod here. Yeah, especially I now want to hold on to my Leyline Binding so I can draw a card with this. Or I want to hold on to my Beanstalk so I can draw a card. Dog draws me another card, lets me find another 3-drop, so I think that's what I want. I don't know what they're playing, so I want to have as much advantage as possible. Players can activate Planeswalker loyalty abilities. Beginning of draw step, draw an additional card. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Creatures get +1/+1. Okay. They're gonna be really sad when I get rid of that. White. Don't have any red. Let's do it like this. Draw a card. Elvish Norn is a gross draw. I'm gonna exile this for now. We should actually hit the warrior token. It's fine. Hinterland Harbor. We can do Chain. Now we get rid of Niambi. Then we'll play. I don't know if they run board waves, but it would definitely be good for them here. That's a good draw. Okay. We're gonna get rid of the Immortal Cell, and that way they can't do anything about it. Destroy. I'm going to put a shield counter. And put on the Titan. We're very far ahead. And like, I mean, farewell would be disastrous here. But yeah, farewell would be just like, we'd be go from far ahead to very far behind. That's why farewell is such a gross card. It's just 6 mana, just like fuck you, basically. Shall I? Okay, this is just somebody who put together a deck for fun. This is not like anything I need to really worry about. Yeah. Probably Larcenist, because that Immortal Sun seems scary. Volleys that had a lot of white creatures. Let's drop the Blood Mage. I don't think I need it. Let's cut the Reunion. I may need the Verdict still because they have all the potentially tokens. I don't need Coma probably, and I could trim a Fable. This song's been coming up a lot lately on my radio. It's really good. This is definitely a no. This is just removal and a 7 drop. It's not going to do anything for me. It's 3 lands, 2 enigmatics. We could play this for Dane. That would probably slow him down, but then we just have nothing else. I mean, we're on the draw. Like, why not, I guess. I don't think we have to worry about being pressured by this deck. I just want to find, like, a card draw of some kind. Okay. Let's just play tapped land slowly. I'll play the Hallowed Fountain next, just because I want to have double white in case I draw like Skyglaive. I mean, I just want to develop my white mana if possible. Denic. Cards in graveyards. Keep this. That's funny. Just they saw the Heliod and they were like, nope, not happening again. Yeah, I mean, they got a 2/3 lifelink is gonna do some good work here. This is good. We're missing green, so this puts us to 2 mana Leyline Binding. So we really need to draw a green spell or green land. Sure. If I'm gonna gain 2 more. Oh, is it optional? You may, yeah. So it auto targets, I guess, because it entered. It's just like Azorius Legends, I guess. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put this out. Just because then if I draw a green mana source, then I can place Enigmatic and then just sack the binding immediately, and it's really good. It's another Convoke spell. Oh, right. It is a pretty good effect. I've thought about Niambi a lot, but I just don't know. I think you need like a really high density of legendaries, and I guess if this is just blue-white legendaries, that makes sense. We'll just play this tapped, and then play this Redain. And then, again, we're just going to hope that we draw a green source for the setting, which is weird because we have a lot of green sources in this version of the list. Ooh. course. Well, let's put this in hand. We'll play the glass pool as a land. Flying. So, I can't do anything about that. Alrighty. I got a lot of lifelink. If we can't find a green source, we're just in a lot of trouble here. There we go. Alright, so now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I get to do is I get to go enchant this green 1. And then I'm going to attack. I should have done that first, but that's fine. Okay. Green, blue. Spell. Let's see if they have a counter magic. Okay. We're going to sack the binding here. We'll give him back Danik, but that's fine. They're just going to draw a card here. Draw 2 cards. Urza's Ruinous Blast. Interesting. Definitely Rending Volley. Sun Petal. Beanstalk. And then it's Larcenist or Frillback. Larcenist, I think. Yeah. We'll just discard the Foundry now, because we got a pretty gas hand otherwise now. Depending on what happens, we start just taking over this game. If they're not attacking, that's a good sign. Yeah. Okay, we'll play the Sun Petal. Green 1. Let's play Beanstalk. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and just peep their hand. Blue, white, black. This gives me the most options. I've got 2 rainbow lands. Two, 3, 4, 5. So they can't cast any 5-mana stuff because they're retained. The retained's holding them down. And we played the glass pool already, so we can't copy this Larcenist if we see 2 things that we like. Okie. Well, we'll get. I guess that's why they discarded it. We'll discard one of the blasts here. Non-legendaries. So I have 2 flyers. So we get to keep Atraxa and retain, but we lose everything else. Oh man, forgot about that buff. Well, now they get to just kill this. That's fine. doesn't matter where I send the damage. Okay. So we have second Enigmatic in hand. They're gonna ruin us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they can't ruin us blast still because of the. Oh, they have a land in hand, so they can't. So if I get rid of the Mox Amber, I can wait. I can pull them off of it for a turn. I think I need to keep drawing cards, so I'll attack the presence here. And let's go ahead and Skyclave the Mox Amber. That keeps them off the blast. So Avacyn's gone. Plains is gone. I think we're just gonna take 10. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's actually a really good draw. Okay, so I have to change and rock that instead. Even though I wanted to get the Lyra. This is fine too. Can't transform if it's dead. Alright, this ended up being way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I think I might. I mean, Verdict is the only good board wipe here. So I could get a Wandering Mind and try to find that Verdict. We'll see what we draw when the Orion stuff comes back. We'll put Beanstalk. Then I'm gonna Skyclave. Let's target Niambi, because that's what's letting them draw cards. And then, yeah. And so now they may just exile the... Okay, I thought they might want to discard their blast in response to draw 2 more cards. Or maybe they would want me to take the blast and then I discard the Shalai or the... Yeah, discard the Shalai to draw 2 cards. When Toes dies, puts the cards into its hand. Okay, so I will want to exile the Tolus as well. And so they discarded Shalai. Shalai's in exile. I'll draw a card here. And then I'm going to sacrifice probably just this Beanstalk. And let's get the deputy and get rid of the Lyra, just because it's putting too much pressure on. Okay, I think we're back ahead again. Not gonna kill the Tolus because that gives them what they want. We'll put. Well, I don't mind them having Shalai. Let's do like this, I guess. Let's see what happens. I have a feeling they have a Ruinous Blast. If they get Shalai and Plains, and if they play Shalai. Actually, we saw 3 Ruinous Blasts gone. Whenever one more creatures put a graveyard, investigate. Okay. Okay. Play the Harbor. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So I can play Elish Norn and Enigmatic. Or I can play Enigmatic and Tolsmere. So this is a 3-2. Let's send in all my flyers. Actually, I'm not sending a Redain. So another thing I could do is I could pay for Playsec and Enigmatic. Just go get Kenrith. Do nothing with the other one. And then reanimate Atraxa with the other. They've got 49 life. That's a lot to come back from. Honestly, I think what I am going to do is that. So it's blue 1, green 1. And we're going to Enigmatic go find Kenrith. I could also go get Cav here, get rid of Denick, then I don't have to worry about. Okay, there we go. I got it. They saw the line. Trying some spicy tech and Enigmatic. I guess it's not tech, it's just slight changes. More tweaks in the mana base with MDFCs, see if they matter. I've pulled Supreme Verdict into the board and cut 1 fires. I kept seeing that I was cutting fires more often than keeping it in. On average, I was cutting 2 fires, and then in those exact same matches, I was also bringing in. The Supreme Verdict. So I cut one of the fires and I brought in the Supreme Verdict main board, so kind of hedging against, since aggro is popular a lot. It can be a dead draw, sure, sometimes, but I think we're going to maybe win a few percentage points just by having that in the main board versus the other fires. And then I'm trying just pushing down the lands that much more by playing Amiri's Call instead of like a shock land. I'm already really liking the Valakut Awakening tech. So the Amiri's Call is literally just, it's the best mythic MDFC probably for this deck. Agademe and Turn Timber and Shadows. Agademe and Turn Timber and Seagate do nothing for this deck. I mean, Seagate maybe, but it's just too I mean, I guess it's the same cost as the others, right? But I mean, it's just like, I don't think it does what we want to be doing or really care to do. I think maybe it's worth a try. It's blue. Shatter Skull Smashing is close, I think. But Emira's Call is at least doing stuff we want to do, is developing the board. Makes our creatures indestructible so we can go in for like maybe some big swings or something. And it's a white mana, and we're, obviously the deck has a really high dependence on white. So it's been interesting in the few games I've played with it. No companion, and they just dropped a Temple Garden tapped. If we played the Sacred Foundry, we could hold up a binding, and maybe that's worth 2 life here. So we'll see what happens. Because then if we draw another land, we get to go Hinterland Harbor next turn, play the Wandering Mine, then land, play the Enigmatic, and sack the binding. So we'll see what happens. This is Greasefang. Yeah, I guess I don't see them lead on Temple Garden a lot often. So if this is Greasefang, what I have to do, that's a good draw, is hold up this Leyline Binding, send a Grizzly Salvage in my end step, untap, play Greasefang, if things go well for them, right? And then we get to binding it, and then hopefully draw a land and play the Enigmatic on the next turn. Otherwise, yeah, I guess we just gotta see how it plays out. I'm not gonna guess too far ahead, but they're definitely Grizzly Salvage right now. Let's have my graveyard and see theirs. Chariot, Confluence, 2 lands, 3 lands, and a Thoughtseize. Okay, so Chariot, Thoughtseize, and 3 lands. I think we'd probably pull back the Thicket. Probably the Thicket. Maybe just a swap. Actually, probably a Thicket because it's more colors. Yeah, see, pull up the Thicket. The Chariot is nice to have here. I mean, Chariot's probably their best one outside of the quote-unquote combo, because, I mean, Parhelion is, like, great, red alarm bells for everybody. But Seaga's Chariot is just, like, actually just, like, kind of like a pretty fair... well, that's not true. It is pretty busted for its mana cost, but quote-unquote fair beater that you can just... That's their plan B, is just to play the Chariot and hope that takes them far enough. I'm going to want the Leyline. I don't want them to have the Chariot, so I'm going to respond to the enter combat. So sometimes if you have like Parhelion, for example, or Sky Sovereign, you could have them have them target it, comes into play, and then it goes back to their hand, and so then now they just kind of have a quote-unquote dead card in their hand, and it's not in their graveyard, so they can't just play Greasefang or something next turn. I do have to be concerned about them just having like a Boseiju here for this Leyline Binding, and then doing Greasefang things, so I may just want to play with this Fateful Absence up. If I draw land, I can actually just do Enigmatic into Coma, that I never have to worry about. Ooh, we are hitting all the wrong buttons. And then with Coma, I never have to worry about Greasefang being a problem. And so one thing I could even do is I could just like, this is a little bit bad into the Chariot, because the Chariot's gonna make them tokens and they'll get it back. But I think we're gonna just start making an incredible advantage. The next turn we'll chain down the like a cat or the Greasefang or something. And the best thing probably to do is to tap down the chariot and not the in response. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. We got Thoughtseize here. I don't think Thoughtseize matters. We've got 2 removal spells in this Wandering Mind. They may just take Fateful Absence because it's instant speed. That's probably the best card against them. Just because I can just boom hit it at any time. I mean, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled that they get the cats out of the deal, but I mean, worst case, I can always go find Deputy to clean up the cats. Because, yeah, and the only thing I have to worry about is that this gets haste, actually. So I want them to crew this first. Yeah, there we go. Just tap it down. And then maybe they have a removal spell. I don't know if I don't think Greasefang really runs removal. Main board. Yeah, maybe they have removal spell here for this coma, if that's what's happening. I mean, this would be the best chance to do it. Okay. I'm not. I guess they don't realize this is a 7-drop. This is the best case scenario because I could have let the cats come in and then crew the cats and still has haste, and then I have 2/4 blockers. I mean, I have the coma, so it wouldn't have mattered. And this goes to hand, so that's good. They could still have like. Actually, they can't salvage at all. I don't know why they spent that push on a 7-mana creature. I don't know. Maybe it's just a new Greasefang player. I don't know why, but I assume a lot of players are new players when I see them make misplays like that. Okay, yep, gonna make a snake. Sure, catch your triumph. We're gonna play this Wandering Mind. We don't have anything to sack right now. We've got Devotion, or Domain, I mean. So if we find a Leyline Binding, we can exile a cat and then get like a Traxon that we just like really can't lose. Binding would probably be the best draw. Well, there's the Atraxa and the Nihilishnoran. If I get second Enigmatic, I can go get like Cav or Tollsmere. If I get, I think Fable's the choice because it just is gonna draw me cards, and it never hurts to draw cards. We'll chain the Greasefang just so I can prevent anything weird from happening. I'm not gonna attack with this coma. It doesn't really behoove me. Well, no, it does because it takes down a cat. And if they don't block, then I just have 6 damage in their face. Because I'll have blockers for days, right? I have these snakes. If they don't play anything, they're probably just going to untap and play Chariot, and then I just have 2 snakes to block the cats with. will say no to this. Maybe we do it next turn to get a Spirited Companion, but right now I don't think so. I probably want to actually just get play this, get a Heliod, return the Binding is probably my best line. It's a pretty fun song. I like it. Really been into house a lot lately. I don't know. I just used to be really big into like dubstep and the like. I mean, I still like dubstep. I'm not saying it used to be, but it's just that seems a lot of dubstep lately is kind of stale and the same old, same old. New age. I guess I don't know. It's not called new age trap, but trap nowadays with people like Noctu and ISOXO, Jules, all, Frost Top. I can like go on and on. All these guys are just amazing. I love this new set of trap, and then a lot of this house stuff is kind of intertwining with trap. You know, you get trap and trap house and house inspired by trap, and all this stuff is really great. I'm not really sure what they do here. They have 5 mana, Masika's Chariot. We know about that, but I mean, if it has a Sky Sovereign, maybe it could be good, but who knows? They just there's no way they win from this point. This Koma is just gonna hold them down forever. They don't have removal that can kill at game 1, especially with the fact that I can make it indestructible. Once you get past the first, once you get back to your turn with the Koma, you start having 2 serpents every time it gets back to their turn, because you have one on your turn and they have one on their turn. Then it becomes near impossible to deal with Coma at that point, because you just have too many snakes. They try to respond to, you know, making it indestructible. You just sack another snake. You don't care. You'll have 2 more by the time it gets to their turn again. It's just like Coma is really good in spots like this. I like it into things like mono green as well, although there's a compelling argument for Agent in mono green as well. You just take their Nykthos as opposed to just preventing it from being tapped, because obviously they have things like Cure and whatnot, and sure, I don't know if they... Okay, yeah, they just miss. I don't know what they had hoped to find. Maybe they have Raffine's Informant, because that could be good if they have... I mean, there's 2 right here, but maybe they have another one in their hand and they discard the Chariot and get back type thing. I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, so against mono green, you can tap down Karn, Kiora, you can tap down blockers, but it's really important to get past that first phase with that one, because they do have stuff that matters. They can some decks still run Transmog Wand, and yeah, it's just really important to get past that first untap, because then, like I said, you start having 2 serpents. You can make really good blocks with it. It's a 6/6 indestructible. You can tap down the Nykthos, and it can't be activated, period. So even if they do untap it, I didn't finish my sentence. Remember, even if they do untap it with Cure, you still can't activate its abilities. It just says you can't activate its abilities, period, this turn. Okay, yeah. Very nice. We're going to be bringing in... Oh my gosh, I don't like when it does this. We're bringing in the Larcenist. 3 volleys. Rest in Peace and Censor. So Censor's going to hold down in the same way that Coma was pushing down what they were doing there. The Censor does the exact same thing. All of their stuff enters tapped, so they can't really crew. The Cat Censor tapped, Greasefang enters tapped, so like they can't do anything anymore. So I think I generally want to maybe cut a chain because it's not instant speed. Let me see. So I generally go down Redain. We already did that. I go down Heliod because Heliod's not really doing anything here. Generally they combo us or they don't. I'm going to go down the 1 Bitter Reunion since we're bringing in more cards that we want to have. I'm going to go down the rest of the Fires because I want to be playing on their turn with these volleys and with the bindings. And then I'm going to go down 1 Fable. I think that's what I want to do. Larcenist, Follies, Rips, and we already have the Verdict main deck. So yeah. Oops. This is just an unkeepable hand. It's just 5 lands and 2 do nothings. The Chain of the Rocks, I mean, obviously, it's still good in the matchup, but it's just the fact there's not instant speed is really terrible, and the Larcenist is far too slow. This is better because I have card draw or graveyard hate on turn 2, and we're gonna put back one of the Sun Petals. But this is a really good hand. I have an answer for the Greasefang. I have a Grave Hate. I have card draw. Probably gonna try to play the Rest in Peace immediately on turn 2. But if I get Thoughtseize turn 1, they have a really tough choice here. Unless they have double Thoughtseize, I mean that'd be really great for them. Okay, no Thoughtseize is a great sign. Great way to start. Yeah, so a lot of this newer house that I've been listening to is they've been sampling a lot of like older songs and been adding their own spin to it. I feel like it's not as bland as old house used to be. You know, when you think of like the quintessential, if you're not into electronic, the quintessential just like type beats that everybody just like. So a lot of people don't like. It's because they're stale and repetitive and boring. But a lot of this newer house, like some of the songs I've been listening to for this stream, are a lot better. There's like actual variation. We've got layers. It's pretty nice. There's gonna have 4 men here. If they just toss a Parhelion, I'm just gonna hate to break the news to them. Just immediately exile it. Yep. Perfect. We'll play the Sun Petal, and then that way I can take just less life. Well, now I'm playing the Stomping Ground, because the next turn I just have instant domain. Like this, for example. Like, I'm not a huge fan of this Yellow Claw edit, but like Noctu is one of my favorite artists right now by a long shot. Just absolutely innovative, really good music. If you like trap music, and it's kind of like some D&B, some house vibes. That's kind of what got me back into listening to house again. It's a lot of this new houses. Like Noctu has a lot of elements from house and D&B that he's incorporated into his track, and same with like ISO and Jules, and it's like just really taking this trap scene by storm. It's so good. Yellow Claw, I feel like constantly tries to keep up and keep relevant, but they just haven't been good in like 6-7 years. You know, they just haven't been. Maybe even more than that, but just so. It's better than I remember it, but I think it might be just because the original is so good. This is just kind of like meh in comparison. What do they discard now? Let's open up their exile. They probably, I mean, they have to draw towards a Wither Bloom command, and they can't really. Another informant. Okay. I mean, now I gotta answer this informant, to be honest. I mean, and this is the advantage of the Spirited Companion, is if this was just more Nally's presences, I would just be taking 3 beats, although apparently not. I'd just be taking 3 beats. So for them to... Okay, well, they just felt like their misplay was hard enough that they just moving on. So that was Greasefang.